How does reinvesting earnings impact return on investment? My suggestion is that you play around a little bit with the calculator on our main website, cryptolegions.app. Have a look at it and let me show you a few things. Let's say that you put in $1,000. How do you play around with it? Make sure that you mark this checkbox here about financial advice. And also, Nadodo's influence, you don't need to use that slider a lot. It's usually around here somewhere. Nadodo doesn't make like very low incentives nor very high incentives. This will never happen probably. It's there because it's technically possible according to the white paper, but Nadodo will situate itself around somewhere here. So let's just leave that slider unusual. A useful slider that you can move forward or backward is this one here, whether you're a beginner who hasn't watched any of the Legions University sessions or nor applied it, or you're an expert where you have not only watched all the Legions University sessions, but you also are applying them actively. And have a look at the 1 month projected return on investment, how strongly it changes. It makes a really big impact on it. How much skill you have. With some investments, especially with some higher investments, have a look at the slider and the effect on the return on investment here. It goes from 210 to 257. It has up to a 50% impact depending on what strategies you use. That's huge. So definitely watching the video that you're watching now contributes to you to get from beginner to average to expert quicker. What we're going to talk about right now mainly is reinvesting winnings. Have a look what happens at the return on investment when you play around with a slider from nothing, which is 119% return on investment with an investment size of $1,000, to 322%. It's a huge difference. Let's play around with a slightly bigger amount, $10,000 hypothetically, then it goes from 171% to 462%. That's a huge, huge difference. And yes, this calculator here on our website is pretty accurate. So depending on how much you reinvest, your return on investment will make a really big difference. To illustrate that a little bit more, I've created this quick compound reinvesting effect spreadsheet that you can see on your screen right now. And this clarifies to you the potential of reinvesting. By the way, the information that you see on your screen right now is not financial advice. It's just an estimated simulation, and don't take this literally, right? This is a best case scenario. At the same time, it's quite plausible and accurate depending on how the game progresses and depending on what you do with your reinvestments. There are basically 3 strategies covered in this sheet. One is that you're here playing the game because you want to earn your money back, which means that as soon as possible, when you put in $500, you want to get your $500 back out again. I don't think that's really the main reason why you're here, because you put in $500 and you get out $500. That's not like a great achievement on financial level, right? And in this first scenario, you play very safe. You claim every single time you make money. Because of the Legion damage, which protects the whole economy of the game, your revenue decreases over time if you don't reinvest at all. So have a look at this column to see what you will make after 4 months. Now, if you're here to earn some money and you decide to reinvest the first round and from there onwards keep claiming, then this is what you get. This is a cautious strategy, and the only time that you reinvest is after 2 weeks or after 20 days whenever you claim it. It's It's an approximate calculation. To make it simple, I made it every 2 weeks. But this is very similar to the game situation. The only difference is that you can, or you usually would claim instead of after 2 weeks, after 20 days. But the money that you make is very similar to what you actually make with the game. Now, if your strategy is riskier and you reinvest every single round, then you could earn a lot. Then have a look at these total earnings with an initial investment of just $500. Assuming the game would go on for 4 months and assuming that you reinvest every single time 100%, then this is what you get. Now, this is just with $500. Let's have a look how this looks if you put in $1,000. Then these are the numbers that you get. Let's assume that you put in $5,000, then these are the numbers that you get. Can you see the difference between the different columns? It's quite big. Let's do one more example of $10,000. What kind of impact that has. This is the power of compound reinvesting. The more you reinvest, the more your legions can work for you. At the same time, of course, it's important that the game goes on, everything goes according to plan and healthy. And this is also just by playing the game. This scenario or approach is not in speculating the Bloodstone token. This is just by playing the game. So yeah, just wanted to show you the power of compound reinvesting, because this reinvesting strategy can really impact your return on investment tremendously, a lot. And you can play around with the calculator here on our website to explore what your investment size is and what the effect is approximately on your return on investment. So you can predict what it will be in the near future potentially. So yes, return on investment is very much impacted by reinvesting.